the name of the film, Amsterdam, kind of represents a lot of things, but mainly it represents a time in these characters' life where things are really beautiful and free for them. And so, yeah, making the movie was kind of like that, and now we're sharing it with the world, which is really strange and exciting, but the movie is also very strange and exciting. So I think it's perfect. It's an incredible cast. I feel so lucky. It was like a bucket list of actors I've ever wanted to work with, and I got to do it all in the same film, which is just insane. And everyone was really awesome. I mean, we said it a lot today when we were doing press. Like there weren't egos on set. It didn't feel like who's who and who you're scared to work with or intimidated who's coming into work today. You were only excited about like, oh great, they're coming in today. Like we get to do scenes together. But it was always just very collaborative and chill. Yeah, it was fun.
Just a celebration. It takes a long time to make a film, and there's a lot of people that are involved, and from its inception to the finish to now. So this is just a time to celebrate and celebrate everybody who was involved. It was a blessing to learn every day. It felt like All-Star Weekend, just every day on set was an inspiration, seeing all the different processes of these actors that I've admired for years. I think the theme is love, companionship, friendship, how important those things are, no matter what time period you're in. Those things, the human connection is a very powerful thing.
Just really excited to be part of this film. I think David O. Russell's a genius, an amazing auteur, and just was a fantastic experience. And it was like going to acting school, to be honest. Just what I imagined it was like to be part of the studio way back in the 50s, just all these amazing actors. But I would do anything for David. He's just fantastic, just a great experience. The main theme of this movie is friendship and loyalty, and it's the family you choose as opposed to necessarily the family you grew up with, and also your definition of family. And it's an amazing comedy thriller. It's an unbelievable. It's David. He's just his own genre unto himself. It's pretty fantastic.
It's so different when you take it in its entirety, and especially in a cinema with people. It's lovely to be here. It's comedic and it's thrilling, but it's really, I think, in so many ways about love and about equality. And how the fallout of war can actually bring the opportunity for equality. So it's a wonderful story.
Hard work, but at the same time, it was a gift to be with that whole crew every day. With David, you never know what's going to happen on the day, and that was exciting for all of us. And I look at it as a bunch of musicians coming together and just jamming, really, because what was ever on the page ended up transforming in certain moments it was elevated, and it transcended itself because of everyone you were working with as well at the top of their game. When I think about this film, I think you have a comedic thriller about love and loyalty and the reasons to live in spite of certain uncertain moments. There's murder involved. There's a lot of interesting things that pop up in these people's lives. For me, I look at it and think it's a hopeful movie. Makes you walk out of that theater, I think, the cinema tonight, and say, what's my Amsterdam? What's that moment where I reckoned with myself and came out of it a better person because of the great people I had in my life?
I got to work with Mike Myers, which was really amazing because he was like one of my favorite comics growing up, so it's pretty surreal to be with one of your heroes at work. It's really cool. And of course, Mr. De Niro was, everybody loves him, so that was great too. David's a genius. I mean, he's one of the smartest guys I ever worked with. I've learned a lot working with him about history and civilization, the world, our culture. Very thoughtful man.
David O. Russell is a special director, and he always, if he wants me to be part of it. I always want to, if I can. If the part is interesting, and with him, I make a special effort to work with him because he cares, and whatever he does will be special. That's important, and there's humor in a lot of dramatic situations, ironic, whatever situation that might be, a family situation, whatever. There's humor there, and he understands that. So that is important if you can get it, because those things are funny, and even though they're moving, sometimes not in a happy way, it's better that they're funny. At least they have this sense of irony.
Like all his films, there's just such a beautiful heart and a whimsy to it, and it's so thoughtful, and like all his films, so much more than it seems, and the kind of film that you're just enjoying it, but while you're watching it, you're like, wait, is this? You want to go back later and try to figure out, okay, what happened? How much of that really happened? But you're just caught up in so much heart to it. I don't know. It's lovely. He's one of those guys who I don't think he sees anything. He doesn't see any difference between drama and comedy, and he's one of my favorite types of filmmakers, and where he's always looking for the contradiction, and so everything is just so layered. And there's seemingly no rules. It's just wonderful.
It's a dream come true. And to work with Christian a third time, Christian Bale, Robert De Niro a fourth time, now have Margot Robbie, John David Washington, the rest of the cast, dream come true. The picture Amsterdam was grown over 5 years with Christian and I creating characters that we would love. And Margot Robbie joined us in that creation, as did John David and Mike Myers and Robert De Niro. We always have sort of a tuning fork in all my pictures. They're always about outsiders, people facing some circumstances that are tough for them, but they have a spring in their step and a gleam in their eye, which is what makes me love them. And all the champions I've known in cinema growing up, those are the people I want to hang out with, and they make me want to go to the movies. So these are characters who have a love of life. That's what Amsterdam is. It's a state of mind. It's when you love life, and when you love your friends, and you're loyal to each other, and you go through things, and you find magic in it nevertheless. So this is, on one hand, a treacherous murder story. On the other hand, it's about love and friendship and romance. So for us, that was the tuning fork of the whole picture.
I've been working with David for a long time, so usually I start from defining the worlds of the different characters, and they're usually pretty distinct. So Bert's world was very eccentric in a way, and but also had to be true to the period. So you can't just do anything you want. It has to be how that eccentric character would have been in the 30s, and that was really fun to research and experiment with. And then there were lots of fun sort of secrets in the movie I kind of tried to work into the production design in a subtle way.
One of the things that is so fantastic about this movie is that I think it's so unusual, a story so unexpected, which for me is like what I want all cinema to be like, where you don't know what you're going to see, what you're going to experience, and we try to put that in the music as well. I just thought it was a really magical, unusual tale. So I was like, as soon as I saw it, I wanted to start writing. So I started writing really quickly, and then I'd just be flying stuff over for David and Jay, the editor. And then we'd just, I was actually in London. I met him very briefly in LA, and then it was a lot of very fast back and forth over the internet with them both. The film, I love, there's this piece of music which is the opening, which is the kind of the main theme, and that closes the film, and then it becomes the song with Givian at the very end as well. So there's a real bookmark and a journey through the musical score, and so I love the fact that we've managed to do that, because it's actually really hard to do that in films these days.